Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on today and give you a quick update energy reading, if you like, for today's magical 22222 energy. We are 2nd of February 2022, and it is quite an impressive portal today and quite an important one. So let's dive on in and have a look at today's energy. Okay, so first of all, 22222, that's five twos. So this decade and in particular this year, we are deep inside number two energy, as I've said in previous videos. And that is all about exploring extremes and then hopefully finding the balance in the middle. It's a learning process. When number two is out of balance, it can be really unstable, like a roller coaster. We can feel unable to make decisions. It can make us overly sensitive, fearful, or turn us into followers rather than leaders and people who don't want to make our own decisions. That sound familiar right now? I think there's a lot of that going on. But number two, in balance, the positive aspect of this number is cooperation, diplomacy. It makes us adaptable. It's the number of partnership. It can be a really wonderful number. And that's why I'm feeling really strongly with today's numerology, that it's all about partnership and coming together in the right ways. This is where we're going with today's portal and the energy that's going to be coming from the shift from this portal. So we'll be moving together, coming together, not out of fear or anger or because somebody's on the same team as us, or because somebody told us we had to, but because it feels right to connect on a genuine level with others. So we have got five twos in this portal in today's energy. So I also want to bring in the energy of number five. That's quite important here as well. And five is about communication. It's about the mind. A balanced number five energy is about clear thinking. It can be incredibly useful. So it can show us the practical ways in which we can cooperate. The number two energy brings in the potential for cooperation, and number five helps us work out how to do it in a logical manner. It brings in logic, it brings in the lower mind, if you like, but an intensely practical and positive aspect of it. It can help us to not fall too much into our emotions, let them run away with us in this very difficult emotional number two energy. So five can really temper those emotions with the practical and responsible energy that it comes in. Then it helps us to keep a cool head when other people are letting their emotions run away with them. So I apologize if you can hear my chair creaking. Now, when you add up all the numbers from today's date, you arrive at 10 or 10-1, which is the number of the initiate. It speaks to me of huge potential for new beginnings after today's portal and huge potential for transformation on a personal level and higher learning, in particular with greater awareness of our connection to the divine for a lot of people from today and moving forwards. On a collective level, I actually want to calculate it a little bit differently because sometimes we do years differently when we're looking at the collective rather than on individuals. And I just want to do that calculation, which actually adds up slightly differently. So it gives us 2 plus 2 plus 20 plus 2 plus 2, which gives us 28. Now, that does, of course, reduce down to 10-1 again. So it's the same numerology of transformation, but it gives us this hidden 28, which comes out as well, which can help us to go deeper into the energy and really understand what's happening here. Now, with this hidden 28, I want to say, because 28 can be a little bit manipulative, there are people who already have this kind of higher esoteric knowledge, or, at least have some of it that most of us are just discovering or kind of learning for the first time in this lifetime. And we've got to remember that they exist. They already know this stuff. And some of them have been using it to manipulate us or the rest of us for their own gain for centuries. So we must remember that, when we have these divine learnings and it's wonderful and we learn all this wisdom from our higher self, from our soul of how to cooperate with the universe, with each other, that we're all one. We have to remember that there are people who've known this stuff for a long time. Okay, and they know how to manipulate us and to use these energies, work with these laws, use these higher magics perhaps. So we need to be very aware of that and not go into this naively thinking, oh, this is new information for everyone, because it may not be. Okay, we may be feeling a little bit idealistic and seeing the green shoots of true cooperation and harmony really starting to show themselves around now and moving forwards. But we have to remember that there are those who oppose our happiness, our progress, and our spiritual growth at this time. There are challenges on our path, and they will seek to unbalance us. They will seek to, oppose our growth. And as we're under the influence of 2 and 6 this year, in this year's numerology, they could be trying to trick people into opposing each other, into closing their hearts to each other, and to refuse to cooperate or to look at the other person's point of view, which is the unbalanced 2 energy, and 6 is the number of the heart. So you put the negative aspects of those together and you get people with closed hearts who just don't want to communicate, don't want to meet in the middle, don't care about other people's needs or opinions. But there is a lot of positivity and hope with this portal. So I want you to remember that humanity is ascending right now. Okay, the Great Awakening is happening. No matter what, it has to happen. And with that, if you find yourself arguing with somebody, try to stop and think why you're arguing with them. Do you really need to have this conversation? Does it really matter what they think? Which football team they support? Which brand of peanut butter they prefer? Does it really matter? Because chances are it doesn't affect you. And when we're arguing with someone, we have to remember that we can very often find common ground, even if we don't agree with their opinions. There's always some common ground that can be found, and that's the beginning of understanding. That's the beginning of the ending of arguments, the ending of war. And I believe that that will be the biggest shift from this portal. It will be remembering that we are all one with each other and with God, with the divine. We are not separate, we are all connected. And on a more practical human level, that we have a lot more in common with each other than not. You know, you may not agree about the same type of food that you want to eat, but you both need to eat. Okay, so we both have that basic common ground. Let's try and find that. Let's work from that. It's really time that we come together, work together, and truly reconnect with a cool head, an open heart, and that's what's going to bring us all back into balance and harmony and bring those qualities back to the world. So I have pulled a couple of cards as well, just to get a little bit more insight on today's energy from one of my favorite decks, Secret Language of Light by Denise Jarvie. I will link below if you're interested, want to check it out. So the two cards we have, the first one is number 30. There is only light. Okay, basically what I just said. All right, the only thing that exists, the only thing that's real is God. Is, you know, we are all aspects of God. That's why we're called the children of God in many texts, in religious texts, because we're just aspects of that same divine energy, having this experience as lesser beings, quote unquote lesser beings. It's beautiful. There is only light. There is only love. That's all that's really real. Okay, we come to this earth plane to experience more difficult things, to experience what it would feel like if we were separate from the divine, to experience all these dark, difficult experiences, you know, but they're just experiences. At the end of the day, it's not real. It's kind of like life's kind of like a big 3D computer game, if you like, in some ways. And also joy. Number 27, joy. Beautiful. So it's a reminder that that's actually the point in this lifetime. The point is not to be right about everything. The point is to have joy. The point is to be happy. You know, it's like when John Lennon was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be happy. And the teacher told him he didn't understand the question. Well, actually he did. He absolutely did. The point of this life is joy, not to argue with each other and have your opinion trounce somebody else's, because where does that get anyone? That just leaves everyone feeling miserable or hurt, or, you know, we can't come together if we insist on fighting. And that old mentality of might is right, I have to beat the other person or I can't win, that's what's leaving right now. That's the old energy that's being swept away by this great awakening. That's what we're moving away from. We're moving towards joy, towards remembering that we are all one. And this portal is going to play a very, very big part of that. Okay, so please do remember to give me a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. There will be many, many more. You have a wonderful 22222 portal, and I will see you again soon.